The reader must now forget chestnuts and colts and accompany us further west. The following days were marked by a number of great thunderstorms, or perhaps there was but one single thunderstorm which progressed across the country in ponderous frog leaps and which we could not shake off, just as we could not shake off Detective Trapp. For it was during those days that the problem of the Aztec red convertible presented itself to me, and quite overshadowed the theme of Lowe's lovers. Queer, I who was jealous of every male we met. Queer how I misinterpreted the designations of doom. Perhaps I had been lulled by Lowe's modest behaviour in winter. And anyway, it would have been too foolish even for a lunatic to suppose another Humbert was avidly following Humbert and Humbert's nymphette with Jovian fireworks over the great and ugly plains. I surmised, donc, that the red yak keeping behind us at a discreet distance mile after mile was operated by a detective, whom some busybody had hired to see what exactly Humbert was doing with that minor stepdaughter of his. As happens with me at periods of electrical disturbance and crepitating lightnings, I had hallucinations. Maybe they were more than hallucinations. I do not know what she or he or both had put into my liquor, but one night I felt sure somebody was tapping on the door of our cabin, and I flung it open and noticed two things: that I was stark naked, and that, white glistening in the rain-dripping darkness, there stood a man holding before his face the mask of Jutting Chin, a grotesque sleuth in the funnies. He emitted a muffled guffaw and scurried away, and I reeled back into the room and fell asleep again, and am not sure even to this day that the visit was not a drug-provoked dream. I have thoroughly studied Trapp's type of humour, and this might have been a plausible sample. Oh, crude and absolutely ruthless. Somebody, I imagined, was making money on those masks of popular monsters and morons. Did I see next morning two urchins rummaging in a garbage can and trying on Jutting Chin? I wonder. It might have all been a coincidence, due to atmospheric conditions, I suppose. Being a murderer with sensational but incomplete and unorthodox memory, I cannot tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the exact day when I first knew with utter certainty that the red convertible was following us. I do remember, however, the first time I saw its driver quite clearly. I was proceeding slowly one afternoon through torrents of rain, and kept seeing that red ghost swimming and shivering with lust in my mirror, when presently the deluge dwindled to a patter, and then was suspended altogether. With a swishing sound a sunburst swept the highway, and needing a pair of new sunglasses, I pulled up at a filling station. What was happening was a sickness, a cancer that could not be helped, so I simply ignored the fact that our quiet pursuer in his converted state stopped a little behind us at a cafe or bar bearing the idiotic sign, "The Bustle, a deceitful seatful." Having seen to the needs of my car, I walked into the office to get those glasses and pay for the gas. As I was in the act of signing a traveller's cheque, and wondered about my exact whereabouts, I happened to glance through a side window and saw a terrible thing. A broad-backed man, baldish, in an oatmeal coat and dark brown trousers, was listening to Lowe, who was leaning out of the car and talking to him very rapidly, her hand with outspread fingers going up and down as it did when she was very serious and emphatic. What struck me with sickening force was, how should I put it, the voluble familiarity of her way, as if they had known each other, for weeks and weeks. I saw him scratch his cheek and nod and turn and walk back to his convertible, a broad and thickish man of my age, somewhat resembling Gustav Trapp, a cousin of my father's in Switzerland. Same smoothly tanned face, fuller than mine, with a small dark moustache and a rosebud degenerate mouth.